Welcome to today's Explainer. We're stepping into the dojo today with a Last Samurai mindset because we are talking about mastering the paper and slicing through Cambridge mathematics exam questions with absolute, uncompromising precision. Now, if you've ever walked out of an exam hall feeling like you absolutely crushed the math, only to get your paper back and realize you somehow dropped a ton of marks, well, you are exactly in the right place. Today, we're unpacking exactly what the Cambridge examiners are looking for, specifically targeting the derivatives of standard functions in the 066 additional mathematics syllabus. But listen, whether you're tackling 0580, 0606, 4024, 4037, or 4040, the core strategy we're going over today is completely universal. We aren't just going to look at raw math today. We are going deep behind the scenes to break down how the examiner actually thinks. We're going to reveal the insider playbook so you can start capturing literally every single mark you deserve. This right here isn't just a casual observation, okay? This is a direct, word-for-word quote from a senior examiner. Calculus trips up thousands of students every single year. It's a bloodbath on the examiner reports. And it's notoriously tricky, but not because the algebra is impossible. It's because the way students communicate their mathematical thinking constantly falls short of the required standard. I want you to imagine two totally different students taking this exact exam. Let's call them Alex and Sam. Now, Alex is the kind of student who overloads their paper with raw mathematical facts, but provides absolutely zero analysis. They just dump formulas on the page. Sam, on the other hand, just rushes. Sam sees a derivative, panics, and completely misses the command word requirements. Both of them are going to lose massive points here, and their papers are going to be covered in red pen marks. We are going to transform those red marks into green check marks today. Let's fix this right now.
All right, here is our cognitive roadmap for this explainer. We're systematically breaking down this methodology across 5 key areas. Just a quick glance, and then let's get right into it. Section 1. The Core Calculus Challenge. The foundation of this entire topic, the absolute bedrock, rests on your precise, connected, and conceptual understanding of how to derive these specific expressions. We are talking about x to the power of n for literally any rational n. We're talking about your trigonometric functions, sine, cosine, and tangent. And of course, the exponential function e to the x and the natural logarithm, ln x. Now here's where students like Sam completely fall apart. You can't just memorize these isolated derivatives on flashcards and expect an A star. You have to understand how they interact when they're mashed together in an exam question. When an examiner hits you with a product rule that combines an exponential function and a trigonometric function, you have to decode that command word instantly. You need to know exactly what the question is asking you to do before your pen even touches the paper. Before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel AC Exams at acexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now. Let's look at what actually sets the absolute top tier apart. Principal examiner reports explicitly highlight this over and over again. Candidates who reference cross-topic connections and apply precise definitions achieve significantly higher marks. This means having a connected understanding. Top-performing candidates don't just see a standalone differentiation question. No way. They see how that derivative connects to finding gradients in coordinate geometry. They see how it links to velocity and acceleration in kinematics, or how it's used to pinpoint stationary points and determine their nature. They can take this core knowledge and immediately transfer it to totally unfamiliar contexts on exam day. They don't freak out when the question looks weird. They rely on their underlying framework. Moving right along to Section 2, Technical Procedural Framework. Okay, listen closely, because this is your new mathematics success blueprint. A lot of humanities subjects use the Peel framework, point, evidence, explanation, link, to write perfect paragraphs. Well, this 5-step sequence is the exact equivalent for scoring top marks in Cambridge mathematics. You must treat this as your systematic, unbreakable processing rulebook. Step 1. Identify key elements. Decode the command words and figure out what the question actually wants. Step 2. Apply relevant principles. Which rule do you need? Chain rule? Quotient rule? Step 3. Execute analysis with clear working. Step 4. Verify your results. Does this answer actually make logical sense? And Step 5. Present in the appropriate format. If our hypothetical student Alex used this framework instead of just throwing random facts at the paper, their score would literally double. You have to follow this sequence rigidly. Now, sometimes calculus questions are wrapped up in real-world contexts or complex data tables. It's not just a pure equation. It's a word problem about a container filling with water, right? When you see complex data like that, this is the exact analytical framework you must execute. First is extraction. Pull the exact specific values from the text or table. Next is interpretation. Map the causal relationships. How does the rate of change of the radius affect the rate of change of the volume? Finally, conclusion. Draw an evidence-based analytical conclusion. I want you to treat this like a speed drill. When you look at a complex math chart, give yourself a mental 60-second timer to scan the data and extract the core trend. If you practice this extraction, interpretation, conclusion loop, you will slice through these context questions like a master. Let's dive into Section 3, the method mark strategy. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE, to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2-3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to @acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. If you take absolutely nothing else away from today's session, please lock this mindset shift into your brain. Mathematics is not magic. Examiners award marks for the transparency of your process. Think of method marks as your absolute safety net, your armor on the battlefield. Clear notation and systematic analysis can quite literally save your grade, even if you make a silly arithmetic error on the very last line. If you clearly show the examiner that you correctly identified and applied the product rule to that complicated e to the x function, you are going to rack up method marks even if your final addition is wrong. But if you hide your working, or you try to do it all in your head or on your calculator, 0 marks. You have to make your brilliance completely visible on the paper. Which brings us to Section 4, Top 3 Examiner Warnings. We're pulling the curtain back right now on the 3 most common frustrating mistakes that examiners constantly complain about in the principal examiner reports. Honestly, write these down right now. Warning number 1, answers are way too vague. Examiners want hyper-specific mathematical details, not broad assumptions. Warning number 2, students totally forget to check their format and presentation. Remember our student Sam who rushes everything? Sam calculates the derivative perfectly but leaves the answer as a messy decimal when the command word explicitly asks for exact form. Bam, marks lost. And warning number 3, answers aren't specific to the context. If the question gives you units or asks about a real-world scenario, your final answer needs to reflect that context explicitly. Let's play a quick game of Find the Flaw. Imagine you're looking at a piece of working out where a student has just skipped from the original function straight to a highly simplified derivative, completely skipping the procedural logic in between. They've given a vague, abstract jump. Examiners absolutely penalize this. They hate having to guess how you got from point A to point C. The flaw is the missing step B. You need highly specific working that is tailored directly to the context. Think of this as a speed writing challenge. You need to be able to write down a flawless step-by-step chain of logic where every single derivative step is shown clearly. Slicing out the vagueness and replacing it with specific, undeniable procedural logic is what turns those red cross marks into green check marks. Section 5, Evaluative Exam Execution. All right, we're at the final stage of our mathematics answering system. This is how you hit that 100% mark potential. The Cambridge syllabus isn't just testing if you can act like a human calculator. It wants to see higher-order evaluative thinking. Top-scoring candidates question underlying assumptions. They evaluate alternatives and compare approaches. Most importantly, they justify their mathematical decisions with absolute, rock-solid evidence. When a question hits you with command words like show that or deduce, they are demanding this exact skill set. You have to logically prove why your mathematical path is the correct one using undeniable algebraic evidence. Furthermore, if you are faced with a multi-part question that requires comparative analysis, maybe you're comparing the rates of change of 2 different connected variables, you have to ensure you're using evidence to support both the similarities and the differences. Use comparative connectives in your final statements. Make it impossibly easy for the examiner to see that you thoroughly grasp the relative importance of your calculations. Listen, students, who implement these mathematics strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to @acetheexams_IGCSE and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. We have covered a massive amount of crucial ground today, from mastering the core standard functions to applying our technical procedural framework, all the way to adopting that all-important samurai mindset regarding transparent methodology. So I want to leave you with this final critical question. Are you leaving easy method marks on the table by hiding your working? As you head into your next practice session, ask yourself this constantly. Making your analytical process visible is the ultimate secret to exam mastery.
Drop a comment below with your target grade for mathematics and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the exams. Your Cambridge success starts here.